Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us. Time for an update for you as far as our weather situation is concerned across the Arklatex and what we are looking at here locally. So, what we are dealing with here is a situation where we're watching a winter storm impact our area. So, we're going to first of all talk about traffic for you to see what's taking place with our traffic situation. And we do have ourselves some issues in and around Shreveport, Bossier City for you for right now. Don't forget, I-49 in town is closed, northbound and southbound there between I-20 and down towards, depends on the direction you're going, Interloop or the Burt Coons Industrial Loop. Also, the interchange at I-220 and I-49 on the north side of town is closed as well. Let's take a look at some shots for you and show you what it looks like there. I-20 at Louisiana 173, and that is there going over Cross Lake. Please slow things down. It still looks like some cars are able to move around there. Okay. And then we're going to go take a look at I-20 at Traffic Street there in Bossier City and I-20 at Barksdale Boulevard as well. Let's see how these vehicles are going down the road. They look like they're going, not as fast as they normally would go, but they are going at a decent pace. So that's some good news there also. Now we're going to go show you I-49 northbound towards Louisiana-Arkansas state line. A few bumps in the road there, meaning a few spots where you got to slow down some. And then Texarkana as well, some slowing down at times there along I-30. I think these are only going to get worse before they go and get better for a couple of reasons. One is the refreezing of anything out there right now. And the other, what about additional precipitation? So it looks like we have some around the region, most of it more than likely relatively light. And I'm willing to bet, based on what I saw the late afternoon, is that that's probably more in the way of a little bit of mist or drizzle out there across our area. I'm double checking to make sure if there's any new information from the National Weather Service. I don't see any right now. So that's probably what we're looking at here. Here's the problem. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way right now. So they just put up and got back data from their forecast sounding. That's where they do a weather balloon launch, the old-fashioned thing. That's the way you do it. And it goes up in the air, and I keep telling you over and over about that layer of warm air up in the air. There's a layer of warm air roughly about 3,200 to 3,400 feet up in the air. And it gets above freezing rapidly. It will go from near freezing or below all the way up to 55 degrees, about 3,300 feet in the air. So why am I telling you this? That's actually a little bit warmer air than what we saw earlier on at that layer. And that layer was actually a little bit higher up. So what's happening is the freezing line is dropping some, which is not good. And then the layer of air is even warmer, meaning by the time it crosses, it gets below freezing again. It's now at an elevation, that's a little bit lower there that's about 3,000 feet. And so it has to refreeze as it travels 3,000 feet. And actually, it's less than 3,000 feet. It's probably closer to around 1,500 to 2,000 feet. It has to refreeze. The thicker that layer of air is, more time to refreeze and it becomes sleet. But if it doesn't refreeze, guess what? That means we are going to end up with freezing rain. So that's why we're still saying freezing rain, but I'm trying to feel optimistic and saying maybe we can cool that column of air down a little bit more. We could. And I think eventually, as I've looked at forecast data, eventually we do cool that column of air down and then it transitions over more into sleet. But right now, I think it'll be kicking off as freezing rain. I'll say it all the time. I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, the other interesting thing is that we're going to pop up on the screen there for you. It doesn't show any on here right now, but we had some lightning strikes earlier and pop it up. And the reason that's important, lightning strikes usually associated with a little area with some heavier rain. We could see a little bit more of that later on tonight. So don't be surprised if you hear some rumbles of thunder in some areas. But again, what we're watching for, you got that precip in Louisiana right now and East Texas, but we're watching back towards San Angelo, Austin area for the next batch to develop to move in later on tonight. And that's the one to keep a close eye on to see. Keep your fingers crossed. We want to see that column of air cool down and the freezing line left higher in the atmosphere. Gives us more time to produce sleet rather than freezing rain. Winter storm warnings, the northern areas of the Arklatex. Ice storm warnings, the southern areas. That's because the possibilities of more sleet up north and maybe snow. That's why it's a winter storm warning, maybe more icing further down to the south. Even though we had a lot of sleet today for us. Temperatures around the region in the teens. Up north already 19 in Texarkana, 23 in Minden, 20 in Atlanta, 28 in Mansfield. Deep freeze tonight. I'm really and truly afraid of it, but pardon me here. I'm reading this is actually just coming from the Weather Service about that upper air sounding. It's illustrating a warm nose appears on the skew T, taking data directly from our weather balloon's radiosonde instrumentation. The warm nose is even more pronounced compared to the soundings they did this morning, suggesting we should anticipate more freezing rain than sleet with the next round of precip. That doesn't mean sleet still won't occur. That freezing rain should be predominant precip mode. So that makes complete sense. I'm just hoping that maybe we can see that column of air get colder overnight and we see a transition over to more sleet. Bottom line, as we always say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. We got lucky today, in my opinion. We may not get lucky later on as far as overnight tonight and into tomorrow with this whole situation. Temperatures for you for your overnight lows, teens to near 20 degrees expected for us. We might even go a little bit lower. Forecast highs tomorrow likely staying there below freezing in most areas. So the precip that you see there may tend to be more along the lines of freezing rain mixed in with sleet, but we hope that we see more of a transition over. But if we see those freezing rain accumulations, the big question is how much will we see? It looks like a lot of it wraps up by mid-morning. We might see a little change over to snow in some areas. So this is forecast model I'm looking at here, and I think this might be close to reality, what we may see, where it shows maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice or greater around areas of Shreveport, Northwest Louisiana, over in parts of East Texas. You got extreme northwest and western parts of the Arklatex, maybe not as great of an opportunity there. So we'll watch and see. But if this does happen, we may start to see more power outages develop, whether it's tonight or whether it's tomorrow. As far as sleet, we could see sleet in the region, but like we said, best chance of seeing things is probably going to be freezing rain. And the road temperatures are already cold enough to go and end up, freezing on up. So today, some of the roads were passable. I'm about to find out if that's the case in just a little bit myself. But we'll continue to monitor the situation for you. We will have our newscast. We have a different time period tonight, starting at 8 o'clock on KPXJ. The news, you can check it out then. This may be our final one of these for the night that we're doing because we did them at the top of the hour, but we'll be on at 8 o'clock on KPXJ. We'll have more postings there on social media as well. The bottom line is this, because we can only repeat this so many times. The chance for freezing rain is there tonight. We will see more areas of freezing rain, possibly mixed with sleet, and we likely will have more travel issues and likely have more power outage issues. This could be anywhere in the Arklatex between now and mid or late morning tomorrow morning with below freezing temperatures. So if you haven't taken precautions, it might be too late, but you can still go. If your faucet's still running, that's good. Put a little drip there on cold and on hot for you. Do not approach any down power lines as well. Make sure you take it slow on the highways and try to pick highways that have been traveled. Okay, that's what's going on there. I'm going to wrap up this coverage here for you for right now, folks. Be safe, stay warm, and we will be doing this throughout the day tomorrow as well.